That life is not about achieving all that we want, but God. Just now, Anthony tried to give it with my resume. Actually, I put down my resume about my life experience. I'm transitioning now from the professional life to, basically to entrepreneurial life, and more like basically, it'd be, I don't want to say like retirement life, but more entrepreneurial life. Yeah. So, this is the philosophy that I have, that I learned the past few years, that life is not about achieving all that we want, that we pursue our own dreams, but God's. Well, that's easy to say, but do we understand? Do we know what God's plan is? There's a mystery unless you experience your own life in your journey of your life. And one of the Bible texts that I use for a guidance for me is 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10. It says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others. So basically, that apparently that the Bible, according to the scriptures, give us a counsel that God give each one of us a gift. So there is no such a thing that we don't have a gift. So each one of us must have a talent. But those gifts is intended to serve others that we receive. As a faithful steward of God's grace in its various forms. Well, it's easy if you are high achievers, you're good singers, good speakers, you are wealthy people, then you can do a lot of things. Yes. And this is what normally, that's what we always talk, right? But it's not necessarily to be that way. That each of us in a different capacity, we must have a gift. So what does it mean then? It is God's plan that we do not hoard all this knowledge, all this gift that God given to us for ourselves, but it's meant to serve others and to serve faithfully. That's the key. All right. Now, and I believe that we as a human being in life, we have the circle of life. As a Japanese people, we are in Indonesia, we are Japanese people. Japanese people, we believe in all this philosophy of circle of life. But today I do not use my Japanese circle of life. I just put this as circle of life. Just make it simple. If you, as same as me, we believe in a circle of life that sometimes your life at the top, but most of the time at the bottom. Well, if you are like we, yes, I guess you agree. Yes, life is a cycle. Sometimes at the top, sometimes at the bottom, but most of the time at the bottom. Right. So that's. But if you are at the bottom, what are you gonna do? And this is what, because most of the life, my early years of life, up and down, but most of it is the bottom. And it teaches me that when you are at the bottom, that you have to learn how to accept help, assistance, support. But in fact, you have to seeking help actively as well. And you have to learn how to trust and be vulnerable to other people. So, and this is what I learned. And I will share with you my life story about it. But when you are at the top, this is the thing. Remember that life, you will never at the bottom all the time. Yes. Usually at the top, you have to believe that. But when you are at the top, we have to be ready to extend help, support, and assistance to other people around us. And in fact, actually the Bible scripture encourages us to intentionally seeking people to help, to be proactive. Because empathy and compassion could only be built upon interaction with people who are in need. That's the reason why Jesus mingled. In Adventist, we talk about you have to mingle with people. Because when we talk about building empathy and compassion, you can build in an isolated place. Yes. You have to interact with people. You have to mingle with people. We have to go down to their level and be sensitive to other people's needs. So, this is my philosophy of life. It's simple, right? So when you are at the bottom, as part of our life, sometimes we are at the bottom, most of the time you are at the bottom, and sometimes you are at the top. What's in the name? Do you know what is in my name?
What's the name?
I was born prematurely. Right? I was born prematurely at 7 months. So that's how many weeks? That's almost 28, yes. 28, 29.
Supposed to be 40.
So my mom told me that I just is even smaller than the cat, the kitten. You know, when I was born, it's so small, just like this. This is not my picture, but it just give you an idea. It's like it's very small, like it's just the palm of the hand.
Yes.
And well, as a pet, my parents thought that I'm not going to make it because 7 months premature. But I make it, right? So that's why I'm here today. And that is why they give me this name. My name is Wiri Prasto. Actually, my original name is Wiri Prasto. But as a Japanese in Java, if your name is A, people will put you O. So that's what in my primary certificate, when I graduated in primary, the teacher make a common mistake. Because mine was Wiri Prasto, they write it down as Wiri Prasto. All the Japanese people, name is Suharto, Sukarno, because that was supposed to be. You should not put A. But actually, my father gave me the name is Wiri Prasto. Right? There's a lot of meaning on that. Why my name is Wiri? This is actually, it's not an Indonesian name. Yeah. My father took it from this wire. So actually in my immediate family, in my extended family, who know me since I was small, they will call me Wire. So that's the way my father called me. Wire. Okay? People don't understand, it's not a Japanese name. They call me Wire. And then over the years, people call me Wire because they don't really understand what is the words come from. Actually, it's coming from the English word, a wire. That's what my name. And now you can understand why my father gave me name Wire. He said that we are small but strong. So like because you're born prematurely. That's why he gave me name. So there's a meaning in my name. It's not Wiri, it was really Wire.
Wire.
So because I was born prematurely. And you see the wire is very small, very thin, but it's very strong. And then Prasta. So my father is a teacher, is a scholar. So all of my family name have a Sanskrit name. So actually it's supposed to be Asta. Asta is number 8, so it's Sanskrit. So we all are 8 in the family. So at the time I'm number 2. My elder brother named Suprasta. I'm the second, Wiri Prasta. And then the third is Triasta. 3 is Sanskrit for number 3. Okay, so Triasta. And then number 4 is, because it's a girl, is Fiastati. And then, Putrasta. Number 4 is Putrasta. This is not in Japan. And then Fiastati. And the last one, Sulasta. You see? My father used the English word to put it in and Sanskrit and nobody knows. Well, that's what's in the name, right? So, my happy life is when you are in primary, secondary, high school, you know. So those Indonesians, they look at this Indonesian high school uniform. Oh, that's a beautiful day. That is a beautiful day in the high school days, yeah. In the high school days, so among this, our friends, I can only find a few pictures. There are many pictures, and I'm the smallest in the class. I'm the skinniest. In fact, I'm very skinny. So I'm not there, and apparently I just realized that, actually I'm since secondary school already playing guitar. I was carrying guitar around. Yeah, that's me. Okay, and then I'm the one who look like. So I'm very skinny.
Which one? Pastor wants to know.
Oh, the one is in. I'm holding the guitar. That's me. And then the one is standing there. Look on the other side. That's me as well. Yeah. So, that one you cannot see because I don't know. I'm somewhere, but I'm not there. Apparently, it says the one in front. I cannot find.
Don't know Cherry yet.
And I'm still very close with them until today. So every year when I go back to my kampung, I will initiate to have reunion. They all will come. So Cherry know all of them, most of them. And some are already passed away, right? Because the smoking. You know, my friend all are smoking, and then suddenly one by one is passing.
Older than him.
And then okay, that's my early life. So I grew up, and and then I had to go to school, go to college. I'm a self-supporting student, right? I'm a self-supporting student. So one of the things that I do, this typical, you go to Adventist school, then how you spot yourself, you go selling books. So every summer I go all over the place selling books.
Wow.
Now I give you this testimony. So this is in ASI Convention, West Indonesia Union in Bali, last August, alright? Me and my wife attending, Caroline and Joshua. So we do a crusade, so I'm one of the crusade speakers. So during this event, this young guy, there's a pastor, they come to us during the Sabbath collecting offering. Is one of the youth pastor collecting offering. Then when they saw and they see me, oh, Pastor, wow, funny, I see you here. Please do not go out yet. We like to see you. And like, who are you? I'm Pastor Margu. I do not recognize you. And then to cut the story short, this pastor, the youth pastor, they look handsome. Then with his wife, and his wife was a Muslim. He was married in 2017, and then he was posted in Bali. So now still a youth pastor, all right? So the story is that when I was in a college and I was selling books, when you go to Jakarta, you go to try to meet all your seniors and graduate working as executive, most of the time you'll be rejected when you're selling books. And sometimes you discourage. And then I make my commitment. If I graduate, I won't be like them. I will never reject any proposal to come to my office. So you go to my home is full of books, like pile and pile. So, this is one of these, so there are many corporates, normally with the students, they with the like full-time corporate company then, to go around. And one of them is an auntie, and this auntie brought along this small little kids, and it's really from kampung and cannot speak properly. And then this auntie told me, this is my nephew, he's just coming from kampung. Their parents are very, very poor, and then it's like very difficult. I want him to be a pastor. Can you sponsor him to us? Like, I look at him, as he can make it, as he really can do it. And to cut the story short, I just gave him a name card. If you say this, you want to study in Unai, you want to take pastoral study, I give my name card, bring, and then you just show it to them, and then you enroll. Literally, with that name card, he studied all the way until graduate.
Wow.
Right? And I'm having so many people, so I do not know, I cannot spell the name, I cannot, sometimes most of them, I do not even ever see them. So then they graduate. That's why when they saw me, like, wow, so excited. And then the wife, they introduced his wife to me, and then the wife also tell me that, my husband keep telling about you, and he's preaching and testimony, things like that. And about the name card. And then he still has the business card that I gave him. He's still carrying it. I no longer work in the company anymore. He's still carrying. And he always preaches, like using it as a testimony. And that's what, somehow that's make connection with this girl, and then finally become his wife. So I never thought, when I look at that this young man, this guy from the kampung, now he becomes so handsome and become a pastor. Because I make my commitment, I will not reject the opportunity to come. Right? So, and this is just one story. I got so many stories like that, because whenever I return back to Unai, people met me with this, I do not know that, but then they tell me. So, sometimes this is the philosophy of life, that you're on the top and some of you on the bottom, most of the time you're on the bottom, but when on the top, remember we have to do things. And that's what I just want to start. And there's another one, this is last Thursday, one of my former staff, this is all our young people, and they invite me, they really want me to treat them. This is only last Thursday. So we want to entertain you, want to treat you. This all used to be my former staff. And apparently that young man is just being promoted as a vice president of finance of the company in Indonesia. And he just used to be just my accountant. And that's my finance manager, now he's a finance manager in the international company. And now he's become an elder of the church. and his wife is very active. It's basically, if I look at back, you never thought that really that you change people's life, you know, of the small thing that you do, support that you give them, and now they inspired to do things to other people, and especially this my cherished friend is Yora. The husband no longer go to church because whatever reason. So we encourage her to, no, you have to go back to church. You know? You're professional, yeah, now you're a finance manager, doing well, but you know, you have to go back to church. So in a way we can encourage one another. So this is just a testimony. Now, why do I telling all of these things? The life, my experience, it taught me to connect to people. It's the importance of connecting to people. And one of the things that I do is, in Singapore, is through charity and social activities. That's the reason why I'm very active in ASI. Do you know that I joined ASI back in 2005, when Dr. Ng still around, and they asked me to join, become a treasurer. They need to have, you know, accountant and whatever conference refer to, okay, you go to Prasto, he's the finance manager, to become treasurer. When I joined them, still Dr. Ng still around, wow, the finance was very bad. The conference, like always asking, reluctant to get involved because ASI was asking for money.
Yes.
So then I realized in the board we got Perlin, we got David Tan, and all these are rich people. Well, how come the center is so miserable, you know? And I'm the treasurer. So to get the story short, and I get to know activity of ASI. They only have one fundraising activity, which is annual dinner. And most of the time is because most of the member of ASI from the Chinese church, which is you, who are the master chef, and all the church members who do the activity actually at that time. So it's very small scale, and they do it on their own. So I would say quite amateur, right? The annual dinner, and that's the only activity they have. They never have any fundraising. They don't know how to respond, and that's why the financial is quite miserable. And then I told to the board, when we are in the board meeting, we need to have fundraising chairman, fundraising people to do this. And they said, oh yeah, that's true. But nobody willing to be. Okay, I'm willing to be the fundraising people, but you need to support me. And that's how it come about. That's the reason why we have a golf tournament and given. And I'm telling you, today we have 3 centers, and we are in the process of setting up another center. Okay. Today the fixed deposit alone is $6 million.
Wow.
And the daily operational the cash in bank is about 1.6 million. Okay. Every month we pay the salary is like bigger than my own company. Why I'm so struck, miserable, as an entrepreneurial life is quite difficult. But in ASI, I can see the God's blessing. So we do the golf tournament in 2008, and then I invite Adrian to accompany me in 2009. And from 2008, the GOs, when I do this golf tournament, wow, I have a big issue. Dr. Ng told me, are you going to be embarrassing of the center because we never have do before and it costing a lot of money. Because nobody and no Adventist playing golf song. I mean, like, it's just so difficult. But today, every year we do the golf tournament. Non-Adventist. But we have one pastor, the pastor in our church will play golf. Pastor person will come in. And you know what? That's why I get to know all this big shot. At that time, MP Lee Boon Heng is the PAP chairman. And he's a minister at the Prime Minister's office. And send the letters to the Prime Minister's office.
Wow.
Why you cannot? There's no way Lee Boon Heng become a GO head. You know, until today, every year he's our GO head.
Wow.
Never fail. And whenever he comes, he always keep his own money. He has the assistant, but most of the time he drive himself the car. So that's how I learned that Singapore minister is so humble, very down to earth. That's how different Indonesia is. You are a minister, you know. I don't know how many office security will come, but he's faithfully supporting our center. Then because he's a GO head, then we always have, I don't know where this golfer coming from where, you know, but it's always come, right? So from every year I bring my kid to go to that. So that's how we have this golf tournament, you know. And actually there are so many today. We have a golf tournament director, and all the volunteers are non-Adventists. Actually, we have no Adventists anymore. That's my worry. Okay, that's my worry, because that's why the ASI is very important to connect, because we have a big activity we do. It's just that even our Adventist people, they do not really aware. And actually, the government knows us very well. The ASI, with the ACS, the Home Holy Elders, the government knows us. And at that time, I said, wow, raising fund is very difficult. When I get involved and I learn about, there is a Singapore Thought Board and all Singapore pools, which is matching every dollar you raise, they will match.
Yes.
Okay, because we are IPC. And then after that, I planned, okay, let's go to President Challenge, send a letter to President. So we received President Challenge twice. Okay, throughout my tenure. So in the past, can you imagine, suddenly the money that coming in was never even be ever imagined.
Wow.
Okay, so that's how we do. And of course we have this fundraising deal, right? We always have this every year. And we revamp it. We engage with the professional MC, and you know how different it is every year. And yeah, we always have fun. I think most of you always attending this fundraising. But we do all of these things, you know, I make myself get involved and connecting to people, and you can see different. And actually, the opportunity for Adventists to do more in terms of spreading our message to our society is big. And many today, all the volunteers are non-Adventists, and they are very committed. Those Sunday church people are very committed, and some of them are very charismatic. And so, yeah, but sometimes I'm embarrassed because only few of us are Adventists, because we take a chance because this is Adventist institution. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, now it's a challenge. So me and Pauline also talk about it, how we can, you know, reaching out to rejuvenate the member, because with myself also, like, I feel like I'm already running out of steam as well. So get involved, right? And then for me personally, my life, I'm transitioning from professional. I worked in GE for 20 years. I'm a financial executive. That's the reason why I get involved in the conference, because finance, go to Prasto. Yeah. Because I work in finance. I work in the same company with Kong Wang. We are in GE, a different division. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Sean. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, so we worked in the same company, Sean, a different big company. So, and then I'm at one point, I'm thinking about, I cannot stay forever in Singapore. Someday I have to retire and I want to go back to Indonesia. And that's the reason why I put myself to become an entrepreneur. And I'm so grateful. With my friend in Singapore, we set up a company in Indonesia. We already set up a company here 10 years earlier, with a market that he go after in Thailand. So when I told them, I'm available, I'm going to set up a business. Okay, Pastor, let's go together and set up in Indonesia. So we set up a company in Indonesia in 2018. So now I've got 60 staff. I'm selling all this electrical in Central Java. I have office in Semarang, Solo, in Jogja, and then just now it's in Purwokerto. Yeah. It's Stark Jacqueline. Yeah, this is my team in Jakarta. So, and then I partnered with Pak Gun, set up a property company. We built almost 140 units of housing, subsidized housing, and now it's been completed. I'm looking for another project. So, to cut the story short, if you look at our life, first we need to believe and claim the promises what's in the Bible, that God is leading our life, regardless whatever your situation is. God have a plan, a better plan than what our plan.
Yes.
And every day in my life that I have to inspire myself. I have to motivate myself. Say, I'm an entrepreneur. Nobody else can motivate you. You have to motivate yourself. You have to inspire yourself, and how can I can inspire? Show up in the stock exchange, right? So that's why when you watching the news, always talking about quarterly earning, quarterly reporting. So it's a big deal. And my job is doing all this consolidation. When I came to Singapore, I thought that people do not go back home. But I make a deal with my boss on a Sabbath. And at that time in 1998, I was here, I released possession here in 1998. At that time still, in Singapore, people still work half day on Sabbath, on Saturday. Even the schools, so that basically still half day on Sabbath. Yeah? So, but I'm making no, I'm Adventist, I cannot work on Sabbath. And because I'm still finance analyst, I got my superiors, right? But I will come back over the weekend or Monday. When I came back over the weekend, I look at the office, the whole entire floor, people still exactly sitting when I left on Friday. I'm like, those people do not go home or what? And apparently every quarter end, people really work like over the weekend, just to make sure that they can to be able to close the book. We do the closing. And that's why I learned about the Singapore ethos of working. People here really just working and working and working. And then but I'm not doing the reporting. And then, wow, this is going to be my job later on. And I have to do this, like, stay over the weekend. That's one, if you understand Adventist, that's my early career that I have to make my decision. So I make plans with God that if I want to survive here, God, I need to be able to submit the report on Friday. But I do admit that I really stay at the office until midnight on Friday instead of sundown. But for me, that's part of how I transition to keep my Sabbath, because my commitment is I have to be in the church every Sabbath, because I never absent. Just now I saw you the how I grew up in high school. I do not attend Adventist school in my primary, secondary, until high school. It's always in government school. And we are the only family in the whole town. And we are the only Adventist family who have exception that we do not go to school on Sabbath. And luckily, my elder brother is a genius. He's always number one in school. So everybody know him. And then, you're his brother, like, okay, he's definitely smart also. So we just carry along, even though I'm really not as smart as him. But that's how they got providence for our family. Because of my elder brother, that you all can follow him. But all my siblings, they are very, very smart. And but I took a different path. I go to Adventist college. When all of my siblings, they go to government university. Yeah, basically God's plan, whatever. So I made my commitment to keep the Sabbath. I changed job 3 times after I graduated because of the Sabbath. And that's why until I work in GE. And I joined the financial leadership. So when I came to Singapore, go back to that, I make that my commitment. Financial reporting must be submitted on Friday. And I have 7 countries to look after. That means they have to submit a day before. And I'm only like finance analyst, I'm not even the CFO, and I have to deal with all the CFO in this country to get their staff to be able to submit the report earlier. And when you had a big multinational company like GE, at the time GE is the
number one.
Because it's the most admired company in the world in those days. And all these are big shot, and we have intercompany transaction a lot. And when we want to close the book, we have to make sure that your transaction between the country must time. They call it 2224. This is our life, okay? And that means I have to really have a process and working that I can consolidate the number and close on Friday. All right? And that's what I do. Then, by God's grace, I'm able to do it in my early career. And then, I'm able to keep the Sabbath. I never